Well, hello and welcome to Red Cup Real Estate. I'm Shanika Fox, your Santa Cruz real estate expert, and this is Mitch Stelling with 101 Loans, and he is a mortgage loan advisor. And we're going to talk a little bit about what we're seeing in the current real estate market right here in Santa Cruz County and what we're experiencing on both the listing buy side and as a mortgage loan advisor side.
Yes.
So, Mitch, can you tell us a little bit about,
Start with the cheers first.
Cheers.
And let's do this.
Can you
All right.
tell us a little bit about your most recent experience in the real estate market?
For sure.
Obviously, mostly you work with buyers because you are helping prepare them to purchase a home with a loan.
For sure.
So tell us about what you are seeing out there.
Yeah, well, this last week has been fun. I'll explain. Interest rates, this was, I think, Wednesday, Thursday of last week. They hit highs that match like year 2000, the dot-com boom.
Nice.
So not very fun. I mean, it's definitely brought consumer confidence down. You know, that scares people somewhat, which I understand. I mean, higher rates, it is what it is. But I looked at a study a little bit earlier. There's definitely been a decline in mortgage applications because of that.
I think 27%
Yeah,
year over
the
year.
same thing. Exactly. You're reading the right stuff.
Oh, hey.
She knows, guys.
Oh.
But no, that was interesting to see. Not just a pretty face. She does sell a lot of homes, and she's also very fun to work with. And a free shout out. But going back to that, so that was last week. It's kind of dwindled into this week as well. So we're hoping throughout this week that we see some improvement on it. But that's definitely, I would say, slowed down on people putting offers in because that pushes some folks, unfortunately, out of the market where they just can't afford it. Their debt to income, that's something we use to determine, how much you can borrow, goes over the level of, what the home's worth, and someone else can swoop it up if they're going in cash or just, have a larger income. Mm-hmm. So that's really what's going on currently.
Can I ask you a question about this before we move with the subjects?
Yeah.
So in my experience, what I feel like I notice on a consumer side is that rates fluctuate. They always have and they always will. There's 100%. Not going to be a set rate forever and ever. So whenever a rate fluctuates in the upwards direction, I usually see a pause for anywhere between a week to a month until things kind of stabilize with regards to each individual client.
Yes.
The ones that are borrowing money, not the ones that are paying cash. And then they kind of forget what they were looking at the week before, and though the inflation and interest rates changes what they can afford, they just adjust accordingly. So it doesn't take them out of the market per se. It just makes them reevaluate, what can I afford with these newer interest rates? And is my offer going to be entertained, or will I be able to purchase the home in which I want with regards to affordability?
Very well said. I like that better than what I just said. So when I say take out of the market specifically for that home, of course you can consult with your lender and your real estate agent and say, hey, this is where our affordability is. These are the homes that match that. And pivot for that.
And then also there are strategies such as a 2-1 buy down, which we're not going to talk about now because we talked about it last week. So if you want more information on that, then check out our video from last week.
Yes, that was a good one.
The information in there. But that might allow you to afford what you could have afforded prior to the increase in interest rates with a seller credit to get a 2-1 buy down and bring your interest rate lower for the first and second year than what we're currently trading.
You really save up quite a bit of money on your payment too. It makes a big difference. And we're going to see rates come down. The $1 million question is when, but we know it's going to be sometime in the next couple of years. So it's, like we talked about last week, a great tool to definitely implement if you're, for a specific property.
So what are you seeing with regards to presenting offers to a listing agent with like single family homes, let's just say? I know that recently you wrote an offer, or you didn't write an offer, but one of your agents wrote an offer on a single family home that seemed to be highly desirable. What has your experience been with regards to helping a buyer who is actually getting a loan when there is multiple offers?
Yeah, well, definitely, begins with that initial consultation with them to determine, what their purchase power is. With my company specifically, I like to look at all of that ahead of time so we can issue a full pre-approval where most of the time you don't need a loan contingency unless we feel like you need one for a specific reason that we find within your documentation or, whatever it may be. So the cleaner the better. And what I mean by that is the less contingencies you have. The fewer. I know I say less, fewer. I'm gonna go back to my speech class like we talked about, I think, in episode 1.
Which Mitch?
Yeah, which Mitch. We'll be there soon, guys. By episode 15, we'll get through it with no problems.
Maybe.
We'll see. Time will tell. But that's huge. The listing agent, and you list quite a few properties, Shanika. I mean, you know how it works, where you want to see the cleaner offer, the better.
Yeah.
Of course, the amount means something as well.
Yes.
But you want to know, that this transaction can be done. There's not going to be problems that arise.
Yeah. If I was on the listing side, if I was the listing agent, and we had 2 offers that were identical, both with loans, and one of the buyers had enough confidence to remove that loan contingency, though they were getting a loan, then I would advise my sellers to accept that offer versus the other if it was identical. Now, if the other offer was slightly higher, it would really depend on the number and how much higher the other offer is, because once you take into consideration taxes and closing costs and all that, like it would have to be significantly higher to make up for the certainty of an offer that has no contingencies attached to it.
Makes total sense.
Yeah.
And it just conveys, like you said, confidence to you. I mean, if you don't have that contingency on there, that tells me, you have your ducks lined up, your earnest money deposits on the line, which is generally, 2 to 3% of the
3% is what
3%.
I've been seeing almost across the board.
Yeah, and that's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money.
That's a risk. So, I mean, you definitely want to make sure you're working with a lender and a real estate team, that's knows what they're doing.
A real estate professional. Like us.
Exactly. Like Shanika Farms. But the other thing I wanted to bring up real quick too, this kind of happened over the weekend. I was helping one of my real estate friends and professionals here in town. She's been in the business quite some time. And we were just doing an open house. I was helping her out. And we came across 2 potential buyers that weren't working with a real estate agent and weren't working with a lender. So it was just interesting. I mean, it happens time to time, but 2 in a day, that was kind of surprising in a way, because you have to be specifically in a low inventory market really prepared when you want to go in and make an offer. The properties are hot right now. So my advice on that information is just make sure, of course, you can go out there, and I think we talked about this a little bit, and
on the last video that got deleted.
Well, this one's better. But no, Shanika brought up that she had go ahead.
A lot of people like to shop first before they get pre-approved, so they don't necessarily know what they can actually afford.
Yes.
Unless, of course, we're paying cash, then that's a different story. But they want to go out there and just see what it is that's on the market that they are attracted to, so that they can start thinking about what I call their wish list, their wants and needs lists, so that when they are out there, they know what their negotiables and non-negotiables are. So I believe, and I think you're on the same page as me, that it is good for a buyer to dip their toe in the market and start looking at open houses, potentially before they get pre-approved, though we wouldn't suggest spending too much time doing that if you are reliant on a loan, so that you don't get to a situation where you fall in love with a home and all of a sudden it's a mad dash scramble to see if you can afford it, get a pre-approval letter, and see if you can compete on some of the properties that are still hot and receiving multiple offers. So if you want to dip your toe, call us and we'll guide you so that you can dip your toe and actually get the results that you want.
Exactly. That was well said.
That
was very good. No, I fully agree on it. I mean, it's as simple as that. Of course, dip your toe in it if you're serious, you know, feel it out. But if you're really looking to purchase a home, consult that mortgage consultant. Find a great real estate agent that knows the area too. Yeah, that's really what you need to win in today's market. So, well, we hope you guys enjoyed this amazing information.
I did.
Shamika's very sweet to open up her office and allow me to come in here and hang out, talk real estate.
I love it. I would
talk
talk
ideas.
about this all day long.
I know. I feel like we have so much fun.
I know.
Have a little water, and
you'll never know.
You'll never know. Maybe
if you have any questions about how the current real estate market will affect you and your real estate goals and dreams, or if you would like more information on getting pre-approved, please feel free to give us a call. We would love to connect with you at your leisure.
Yes. Cheers to that, Shamika. See you next time.